VM Singh, Sambit Patra makes the argument that they've now been appointed virtually as friends of the court. They will use their eminence, they'll use their experience and their stature to help resolve the situation. And if protesting farmers such as yourself don't listen to what the Supreme Court says, then we will, sir, be in a state of anarchy. You don't want to listen to Narendra Tomar, you don't like what Piyush Goyal is saying, you don't like what Amit Shah said, you don't now listen to the Supreme Court. You can't be a law unto yourselves.
You see, like we're all thankful to the Supreme Court for having put the laws on hold, passed the injunction. At the same time, these 4 names that have come in today, as Mr. Patra is saying, I don't agree on that score. A judge takes his oath, he forgets what he was doing, and Mr. Patra, as you know, I have been in practice on the PILs for the farmers for the last 25-30 years. If there is a judge who's been a lawyer in the same kind of petition, he says, no, I will not hear the matter. You should know that. Over here, if these people themselves have passed a judgment and they have said, we side with this for these reasons, I don't see any reason why they should be accepting such a position itself. On their own, they should say, no, we have already made up our minds.
No, but one second, that's impractical. We have saying, one second, sir, that's impractical. Because every person who has anything to do with agriculture and many who have nothing to do with agriculture have already taken positions one way or the other. So how can you find 4 people who are experts on agriculture but haven't taken a position on agriculture? That's an unrealistic ask.
Very well. Justice Gupta just clarified that. He said what should have been done as such is keep some people from both sides. Okay. Either ask these people who are petitioners here, okay, who are your people? And ask the government who are your people. Then have a common ground at least. At least one can fight with the
Patra, for dispute resolution, you should have had representatives from both sides who would have represented both points of view. If you get the same kind of people, then how do you assuage the concerns of those who are not in agreement with what the government has done? How will you win their trust and support? Otherwise, they'll keep sitting, you'll keep saying that this is not okay, and there'll be no forward movement.
See, 2 parts to this question. Part 1 is that, well, look, we have to have faith on certain institutions of the country. The farmers have to repose their faith. I mean, the group of farmers who are protesting, they have to repose their faith in the Supreme Court. As we today in the press conference have said that we have faith in the Supreme Court of this country. Remember, day before yesterday, there was a press conference by farmer organization as well as the Congress party saying that we welcome the decision of the Supreme Court because the Supreme Court had rebuked the central government. And yesterday when the Supreme Court came out with a judgment, when the verdict was out that, well, yes, these are the 4 people who would be heading a committee, there was a second press conference saying that now we don't stand with the Supreme Court, so it cannot be what you call in Hindi, meetha meetha gup gup and kadwa kadwa thu thu. I mean, it has to be a balanced approach where you have to, and we all have to have faith on Supreme Court, number 1. Number 2, remember, this issue is a technical issue. You have to be objective in this. You have no scope for being subjective. Let me give you an example. Even if one of these members had written openly against the laws, supposedly when other farmer organizations presented their complaint that, look, because of this law, my land would be taken, he would be referring to the law and then he would be forced to say, there is no point in the law which says that a contract would be made with the land. No point in the law. And this is absolutely technical, so there is no scope for being subjective over here. Anyone who has the ability to talk about technicalities, and every farmer organization, the moot question over here what the Supreme Court did was, why only 37 farmer organizations? There are more than thousands farmer organizations. Have they all been heard? They all have not been heard. Why not give them a chance to be heard?
VM Singh, because some may these 40 odd organizations that are protesting are not the only organizations in the country. There are organizations in other parts of the state, sir, with all respect to the protesting farmers, who actually come out and supported the law. Even if they're not wild with joy that the laws have come, they're not as opposed to the law as these farmer organizations largely from Punjab and Haryana.
Firstly, that was for the government to decide who they're calling or not. I, for one, I started this entire thing, okay? I gave a call for Delhi, and then after Corona, I took a back seat and I said, whatever they do, it's fine, whoever the government calls. It's the government's call. Today you call some people and then you say, my God, there are only 40 people that you're calling? Who stopped you from calling me?
Okay, Sambit Patra, that's a good counter. You are the one who are calling them and then you are saying, why are they coming? Don't call them. if they are so inconsequential and if the
I'll tell
others
you
are the
why.
ones who matter more, don't call these
You
guys,
also-
let them
you
sit,
also call
ignore
them
them.
boys, you also
Why
call
are you
them
calling
something
them
else.
again and again?
Let me answer that. This is almost akin to what one question was asked in the Supreme Court, that we have not received a single petition from the farmers who are satisfied. Supposedly you and I both are patients to a doctor. Supposedly you get cured and I don't get cured. So of course the one who does not get cured and who feels there is a negligence will go to the court. The one who is cured will only sing the paean of the doctor in the home and say, oh, what a good doctor he was. Similarly, most of the farmer organizations, majority of them which feel that they have been benefited because of the law, naturally did not write to the government thanking the government. No one writes to the government thanking for a law. So when in fact a law is to be repealed or the law is to be suspended and a committee is formed, let the other organizations also appear in front of the committee and say that why should they in fact suspend a law, or why should they in fact repeal a law
So I'm
when
out
the
of
law
time.
is benefiting them.